Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Attacker Productions. Today I, Bancroft, being joined once again by Jimmy, Jake, and like always, Fluff.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, y'all?
What's up, people?
And like always, there's buttons down below. Feel free to click them, they're there for a reason. Today's matchup is the weekend after Gen Con, and I brought Prison, while Jake is giving his touch at Hatchiac. So hope you all enjoyed today's matchup. Let's get into it. You want to go over Hatchiac? Because we haven't seen that at our locals in a while.
Sure thing. This is a leader from all the way back in set 8, I think it was. And
set 8.
Back then it really focused on the Ghost Warriors that came out in that set. But these days there are just so many powerful, just generic black cards that Hatchhyack gets a lot of mileage just off of the leverage of like being a black leader that charges black energy. And then the floodgate restriction is really good in both aggro and control matchups because a lot of battle cards right now that are being played cost less than 8. And here you're just seeing how Hatchhyack just takes advantage of every generic black engine in the game, dipping all the way back into Kid Coup from set 6 here.
So talk about this Kid Coup. This was a tech that was played a lot when Hatchhyack first was getting its legs, because on all the Ghost Warriors, you would bottom deck cards from your drop area, and then you would just use Goku just to shuffle the deck. Yep. Even if you didn't even run balls, you were just using it to shuffle the deck to get those cards back in circulation. So is there anything in this match or in this particular build that you bottom deck that you want to see more?
Oh, yeah. If I mill like a Thwarting the Dark Empire 6-drop or any multitude of other good utility battle cards, I can put them back to the deck with the Lord Slug Ghost Warrior and then use Kid Coup to shuffle. I don't want to say we invented the Kid Coup tech, but we have been using it in our Hatchhyack builds since set 8.
Yeah.
I remember playing with an Italian player back in the day, and you might hear us refer to Goku as the adventure begins as Goku Child. And that's because I used to play Hatchhyack years ago and was playing against an Italian player, and he asked me, why play the Goku Child?
Another thing that people don't really give that Kid Coup and the 4-star ball enough credit for is if you can board a Kid Coup on turn 1, your opponent swings into your hatch, and then, like with their leader, and most people aren't trying to combo heavy early, those 4-star balls are free combo fodder for you. So theoretically, in Hatchiac, because of the Goku and the 4-stars, you're able to awaken at 8 life in certain games, which is crazy, because then you play the rest of your game on like 8 to 7 life.
Which I had seen some tech where people were siding 4-star balls for specific matchups, especially yellow, where yellow does a lot of battle card negation.
Yeah.
So then they just swing out with the battle card and drop all their 4-star balls on it, which is, hilarious because nobody expects the 4-star ball to come out in a matchup like that. But inherently running them, like 4-star ball has a lot of really good tech right now.
Yeah, it's got a lot of decent utility in the meta.
Let's talk at Bancroft about changes to Prison. Is this same old, or you got something exciting going on?
So this is the profile I dropped end of last week, I think, with the Gogeta package. Now, my goodness, Jake has played this before. We were testing against King Cole. And I knew since you're playing Hatch, I'm like, okay, cool. That gives me time to build up my board to search for all the extra I need, including like the strategy number 7, which helps protect the Gogetas when I'm able to play them. Being forced to just turn 4 play the 4-drop unison, which is a great option, sucks.
Yeah, that was really huge and was not something I was expecting, and really turned up the dial on how hard I had to think about this game.
Yeah.
So the idea for Prism, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, is the leader searches for extra cards. The 2-drop Unison Frost searches for extra cards. The 2-drop Frost is also able to cycle extra cards back to your hand. Unfortunately, I did not see the Frost, so I was like, I need to get something on the board, start doing something to his board, and that's just 4-drop Unison, It's a blocker. If he swings a battle card, I can negative by 25 to give it a +1 marker, and then potentially use the -4 later down the road. The secondary play to this deck is to play Gogetas right afterwards. But I was having a very hard time trying to find the 5-drop Gogeta. But when the deck's able to get it, with a Unison, typically it's Frost. You played the 5-drop Gogeta, which gives it markers. You played the 6-drop Gogeta, which gives it more markers. From there, I'm able to just -2, bring back Wolfang Fist, bring back Frieza's Death Balls back to my hand, or I can cycle the Universe 7s back to my hand and give my Gogeta's Barrier every single turn, which is always a nice thing to do.
Which also, what a massive turn. Like, dropping both SS4 Thwarting and Bardock, and you didn't even, bat an eye at it. Like,
Yeah.
It's insane to see a deck do that with, I don't want to say so little care, but you have to just feel safe doing that because of your leader effect.
I really do love the Gogeta package in this deck for 2 reasons. Reason 1, like I said, the Frost recycling things, but Gogeta especially. If I have the 6-drop on board, anything that's 45 is gone.
Yeah, in tandem with that Unison. And the Unison's going to add a marker to itself whenever it does that. So it's really difficult as the opponent to think around activations of the Unison. It's something I was thinking about today before we sat down to record this. Pretty much from this point on in the game, it doesn't really look like there's a lot going on, but Bancroft and I are really having a battle of wits outside of the table. What's everybody gonna try and do? How's that gonna work? Here, I'm just opting to fuse from the warp rather than my hand.
And Bancroft plays. So Bancroft plays the 5-drop Vegeta from sets 13, I think it was. If he can put the Gogeta, that Vegeta, and the Gohanks Unison on the board with the strategies of Universe 7, there's almost no way to break that field.
Yeah, that's huge.
That was almost a play, actually, in this matchup, because I was not seeing the 5-drop Gogeta, and I was like, I'm just going to hardcast this guy and just neg, because it does 10, right?
Yeah, it's 10 whenever your opponent plays something, I think.
Or attacks, and it's not once per turn.
Oh, that's huge.
So, every battle card that played is instantly 10 less. Then if they attack with that battle card, it loses another 10. Plus is going to +1 for your Unison. It's such a huge... It's so hard unless your opponent has the way to just blow up the field, ignoring barrier and energy costs. And getting rid of the Vegeta. It's such a hard field to play through.
That was really rough.
Yeah.
And think about the timing window, actually, Jimmy. So the 4-drop Gohanks has dual attack. So you swing, you restand. Sin Shenron plays at the end of battle. So it restands before the battle ends, and then it's played and it re-taps it. Yeah.
Dual attack is an auto skill that on attack it triggers and then resolves when autos resolve. And that says at the end of the battle, you switch the card to active mode, and then since your turn player, you will resolve your auto completely. You will switch to active mode. Then Sin Shenron will come in and have its effect. It's the same way with the Bardock Raiders War Cry, where that can rest a dual attacker on entry.
It's just crazy. And I think in the match I was like, I should have swung with this card first. But thinking back on it, I was like, it didn't matter what I swung with first.
Yeah. Hatchhyack having access to this Sin because it's considered black in all areas is just awesome.
And it's an 8-drop for you as well.
Exactly.
I think one of the shining features about Hatchiac particularly is the SS4 Thwarting, that Sin, Fu Shrouded, which are your big heavy hitters, are all above 8 cost. which give you access to that don't interact with your leader's once per turn battle card attack, which puts Hatchiac in a unique position where, compared to the average other deck that cannot make multiple attacks with multiple battle cards, because you run 8 to 10 drops, you're fine.
Yeah, you get around your own floodgate restriction, and nowadays that 8 drops come out for 4 energy, Hatchhiack's a real contender.
Yeah.
So you played quite a bit of Hatch in the past couple of weeks. Both, I think you played a little bit before Gen Con, and you really like delved into it afterwards. What like meta decks have you run into on Untap playing Hatchiac?
So played against a bit of Invoker, played against Soul Striker, and a new deck that has been popping up, I don't know if you could call it meta quite yet, is the Masked Saiyan from the starter deck.
Mm-hmm.
That deck can be a real problem. They have a lot of small dual attackers that are otherwise unattractive to use removal on, but they play unisons that come out for free. They have a lot of free play battle cards and things that come into play when they get milled. So,
and their big 10 drop, I imagine, could be a major pain in the ass for Hatchiac.
Oh, the SS4?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I haven't played against Bardock Zeno. This is the Bardock from the starter deck.
Oh, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
That deck can be a real problem if you're Hatchiac. But I'm sure SS4 can give you some problems too because of that big 10 drop. And then they have access to Thwarting the Dark Empire as well.
So before we get too far away, there was a misplay there. I went to go counterattack with the Topo, and because the Topo's auto, or the counterattack, I have to discard a card, then you get your autos. I forgot to declare the +1 on the Gohonk, so in case anyone asks in the comments, I just forgot. It happens. We talked about it afterwards. I'm like, I didn't call it, so we're not gonna worry about it, and we just kept on going. And the reason why I haven't done the -4 yet is because Jake's sitting at 4 life with open energy. It's almost a waste in my mindset right now, because like it's either he has negates, or he can still take 1 hit and then be even better off potentially. And you still have a blocker on board too, so.
Yeah, here I'm just trying to build up as much as I can. Trying to leave as much energy up as I can. Even though I've got a lot of pretty large battle cards and unisons on the field, this Gohonks is just a problem.
And here we're going over your autos, and
yeah, thought about warping the token, but we're gonna go with the battle card.
And I decide to block. And I do your Shinron, which is a way of you not attacking with it. And if you were, I could punish you for it.
Right. I was hoping to get to attack with it. And then here you leverage that Kikino to grab Testing back, which is just going to stall me further.
So I think at this point in the game, you had joked about like, I think I just gotta go to 10 energy to be safe.
Yeah.
Because like you had mentioned beforehand, like you had played an opponent, I think, who played something very similar to this, and the game just went on forever.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody at Gen Con actually, and they said they had tested this matchup, him and his friend, casually, and it went to something like turn 20. Now, I don't know if they were counting both players' turn as like 1, 2, 3, 4, you know what I mean? But either way, that is a long time to be playing a game of Dragon Ball.
We go to turn 9, I think, in this game.
It makes sense.
It's just the nature of these two decks. I mean, even against an aggro or mid-range deck that would try to win on like a standard turn 4, turn 5, may not be able to deal a killing blow, or Hatchiac may not be able to outmaneuver for the killing blow until much later in turn progression. So the thing that kind of makes this tricky for both players is that if either player missteps, say after like turn 6, and somehow turns off or misplays and cuts themselves off of a huge power play, they could just instantly lose on the crackback because theoretically you were both at enough energy to kill your opponent at any moment. If the opponent were to say mess up and not have, not leave a proper negate or not leave themselves appropriately defended.
It's very much like a chess match at this point.
In here, I take the life for the negate, and we'll put token out in a second, because I'm actually still searching for a 5-drop Gogeta, and going this far in the game and just not seeing it is just rough.
Yeah, that's
I just
really
needed to get a
unfortunate.
battle step there so I could get another card in the drop area. I have 10 exactly now.
Do you remember, Bancroft? Were those in your life?
They were
or
all in
were
my
they
deck.
just in the deck?
Yeah.
And
so here,
you just hadn't seen them. That's just bad luck.
Yeah. So he swings with Gogeta. I could have comboed out of, I think, 1 attack, potentially 2 attacks. Use the leaders to negate in their attack, but I was just like, I can't stop all your attacks. That's it, man. You got it. And there I'm fishing them out. Like, they're just... Game 2, it worked. It played beautifully. Game 3 worked pretty nicely as well. Just for some reason, the first game, I just didn't see it.
I know the feeling.
That is just bad luck. I mean, I think everyone that plays a card game has been in a situation where you just need that one card that you play multiples of. So it's not like you're trying to find your secret rare or your one-up tech. You're trying to find one of the key pieces of your strategy, and you just don't see it, and the game gets punished because of it.
I will say, for those of you who checked out my profile, there is actually one card that was wrong. I didn't realize until after this matchup. It's supposed to be 3 Frieza's Death Balls and 1 6-drop Fu Shrouded Mystery, or 10 drops Fu Shrouded Mystery. So, just putting it out there. I didn't have that either in my deck because I'm an idiot. It happens. With that being said, hope you all enjoyed today's video. Kudos to Jake. He's going on to the next round. And like that being said, there's buttons down below and on the screen while Fluff does the outro.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Click on one of the videos here. Hopefully it's something that you would like, something that you would enjoy. But in the meantime, make sure to read your cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to. We like looking like idiot sandwiches. As always, Fluff out.